lays one right here, and the other girl lays one right here.
They numbed her with ice at her surgery instead of actual.
And then he's like, well, Desiree,
numbing medications.
There's no anesthesiologist. That's why we got the ice. Belieber, you're not gonna feel anything. And I'm just thinking, yeah, but I'm gonna be freaking awake.
Yes! Hello, my lovelies. My name is Lecka, and today we are going to be watching episode 4 of Botched. I will also be trying to record a different series so we can have a little bit of variety here on the channel. So if you guys are looking forward to some more dramatic shenanigans, let me know. And if you have a particular show you want me to watch and react alongside with you for, let me know in the comments below. I'm open to a lot of things, especially if it's on TLC/Discovery Plus, even better. But for now, we are going to be continuing with our Botched plastic surgery reality TV shows foyer. If you guys have missed the previous episodes we've done, then I highly encourage you guys to go back, click on the icon here in the top right hand corner, and go check them out so that you're not just thrown into the middle of this madness. But this TV show is not episodic, so you can watch things out of order and you're not going to be super lost. So that's the nice thing about it, but it's also very bingeable. But let's go ahead and watch the episode 4 of season 1 of Botched, called Making a Belieber. I also heard you guys on the previous videos that you did not like the video diagonally down, or I'm doing it the wrong way with the reflection of the camera, but diagonally down this way. So we're going to have it go diagonally up to the right instead. So hopefully that's easier to watch. Let me know if you guys have more constructive criticisms or thoughts on the way that we do it for angling and the way that it looks, so it's easier to watch along with it. Also, my Has-Been Hotel Stolas and Angel Dust, who are my favorite in Hell of a Boss in the Has-Been Hotel universe, plus my amazing custom 3D printed Absol Pokeball. It means a lot to me, and I moved them so you guys can see them. I actually got this beautiful 3D Absol Pokeball as a gift from one of my really amazing community members named Drac Lauren. Drac, I love you. They're the best. He also gave me an Absol hat. It's over 100 degrees here in Idaho right now, so I'm not wearing the felt Absol hat yet, but come wintertime, we'll be rocking that shit. Speaking of, this octopus does not have a name, but is adorable as shit, and if you guys have a name for this octopus barrette, let me know, and I will name him in future videos.
I just can't believe how good I feel. I spent $100,000 to look like Justin Bieber. He's so handsome.
He doesn't look anything like Justin Bieber.
The full luscious lips.
The haircut is the cheapest thing he's got to look like Justin Bieber. That's the closest thing. Wow!
I'm 9 years old, and I feel like I have grandma boobs.
The nurses came in.
We're so pendulous and flat.
Dr. Ice was your anesthesiologist.
I got a tummy tuck, and then my coochie is on my stomach. It just felt like I was being
Oh. Oh, the intro. I wanna be hot. Kiss me, make me beautiful. Oh, I wanna be perfect. Iconic theme song from the 2014s. Ooh, look at those gladiator sandals. Love it. This man does not look anything like Justin Bieber.
Toby Sheldon. I'm from Germany, and I spent $100,000 to look like Justin Bieber.
A true believer.
Friends of mine that have that kind of money, they make a big down payment on a house in the hills, or they get like a
because
Porsche
that
and
makes
a
sense.
Lamborghini, and they just want a nice looking face. I like Justin's whole look from like maybe 2 years ago when he was like 18, because he really looks young, like baby faced. First surgery was like a marathon.
Oh, he has a
surgery
lot of
with, like the cheeks, the temples,
features that don't look anything like
lips,
Justin.
and
He has a very
the leg
large
reconstruction,
forehead, which there's nothing wrong with that. I have a big ass
I
forehead
go
too,
home, like, my
but
girlfriend saw
I
me,
end up
and she was
complaining
like,
on
"Damn,
it,
what
but
the hell did you
like,
do?" Like, I thought it was
he just doesn't have the same
gonna be
face.
a little bit, like fat or something injected in there, and my girlfriend doesn't really like Justin. Surgeries I still want to do would be like a
I'm
forehead
surprised he has a
reduction,
girlfriend.
To have a smaller forehead like Justin. I want
You just talked about the forehead! I just talked about that. Okay, there's no way. Hold on, we're gonna go back and look at the comparison of these two. So he's trying to look like 18-year-old Justin Bieber. The eyebrows, his are basically black or really, really, really dark brown. Justin's. His are light, so he would need to, that's easy, right? Dye your eyebrows, not hard. The hair color is off. He is a much darker brunette. He has the same haircut, and that's the only thing that really looks like him. But you can also look at the nose, right? His nose, the nasal tip goes down further and is just a longer nose bridge, whereas Justin's nose is shorter. So his tip is not only shorter because the septum is shorter, but it's also a little bit wider and turned up slightly. Like, you can see up Justin's nose just a little bit, whereas his is more downturned, right? So you can't see the guy who's trying to look like Justin Bieber's nostril. So the noses are completely different. You can also see, like, at the eyes, Justin has his eyes slightly further apart from his nose than this guy does. And of course, he could always wear contacts. Contacts are easy. Please, for the love of God, if you want to change your eye color, just use contact lenses instead. But he could easily change his to be brown. Looks like Justin probably either was born with fuller lips or gets Juvederm or some kind of injectable, and his top lip is not nearly as plump as Justin's, so he would need to get injectables to do that. A lot of this shit, though, he can't fix even with surgery. You can't make your eyes go further away from your nose so that your eyes are further apart or further in. You can't move horizontally the way your eyes are because that's inside your skull. That's just the way it is. So that's never going to look the same. No good doctor is going to purposefully widen your nose bridge and make it shorter and upturn the tip so it's higher up, because most people are trying to go from a pig nose from a botched surgery to pushing it further down, right? So there's so many things. And the jawline too. Justin's is a little more of that like opened up staple look where it's kind of wide and then it goes flat on the bottom, whereas this man's goes in more of a U shape rather than an opened up staple shape. It's not as sharp, right? Like a stapled angle. His is very round and smooth, which I guess he could get a jaw implant for surgery that way. But what I don't understand is what the fuck did he spend $100,000 on to still look this far away from 18-year-old Justin Bieber? Like, what was his laundry list of surgeries? That acquiring minds want to know.
I want to do a jaw reduction to get like a slimmer jaw like Justin Bieber.
Okay, so you talked about the jaw like I said.
People do think I'm Justin Bieber. I went to
Nobody thinks you're Justin Bieber, my guy.
And there was like a tour bus there, and somebody was like, "That's Justin Bieber." And
no, it's literally just because of the haircuts.
And that usually gives me away. I'm like so much taller than him, so that sucks.
Okay.
To meet Justin. I would want Justin to say to me that he appreciates my love for him, I guess. I don't want him to say, "What's that creepy old dude doing?"
He's not even old, though. Looks like he's in his 20s or 30s.
Only way I'll ever stop looking like Justin Bieber is when I die.
Okay, interesting. I wonder if he's still trying to look like Justin Bieber today because this was 10 years ago.
I'm Charlotte Olhausen. I'm from Hawaii, California, and I'm your typical California girl.
California
When I was
girl.
24, I got married to my husband, Will. We have 2 boys. They're 4 and 6. I'm
Handful.
29 years old, and I feel like I have grandma boobs.
Aw,
I got my
she's so
boobs
cute.
done when
But
I
she
was
does have
19.
really tiny
It was
titties.
kind of like the cool thing to do. I was really happy with the results. I felt like they were a good size. They were like a C.
Okay, yeah, those
Only
look really
back
nice.
then because after having my 2 boys, they were sitting a little lower.
Oh yeah,
My
kids
first
fuck up
doctor
your body.
retired, and the second doctor, he took over his practice. When I went in for my consultation, he said that once he got in there,
Wearing
he would know
3
the
sports
size that I was
bras?
supposed to be. I wasn't thinking. I just thought, okay, he's a surgeon. I just kind of did whatever you think is right.
4
I never
sports
thought I'd be
bras.
a triple D, ever. I didn't even know that size existed. Within the first couple days, I
Jesus.
started noticing a rippling and the changing of the shape. Now my breasts.
Oh yeah, that looks really bad. Let's go back and look at that. So the whole thing with like the sports bra, like while she's talking, she's doing this, but like I'm assuming she will talk about this in future cutaway, but like she's probably putting on all of these because sports bras are very compression, right? So she's putting more and more on because she's trying to hide. She said that she came out way bigger than she wanted. So she's trying to push her boobs in to make them look smaller than they really are. And it's probably to give them hella extra support too, because in the picture, right, if we go forward, yeah, with this one right here, they're so droopy, they're so hanging and low and pendulous that she's probably wearing all those sports bras too to give them the lifted support that she's looking for, because otherwise they're just, you know, drooping and hanging. You can see that it's almost like a teardrop shape that she has on her breasts here, which a lot of people are born with teardrop shapes, but this, you can tell the implant is just kind of like sitting rounded at the very bottom of her breast and is so heavy because she's such a small girl too. Having that big of boobs is like, and for it to be on her small frame too, because look how thin she is. Look how small this girl is. It's weighed on her and made them even longer and more pendulous and droopy, which is why she calls them grandma boobs, because they're so low. And of course, she's had them in for a few years now, and gravity makes it even worse. So if it's already low and hanging, the longer and more years you have with time that goes on, it's only going to get lower and lower and lower because you're just letting the weight continue to go down, right? So yeah, that is wild that they are so low for her. Wow.
Look like cow udders.
Oh. Wow. Yeah.
I'm a daddy's girl. I usually tell him everything, but my dad has no idea that my surgery was botched.
Aw.
He bought a boat.
I liked her
and he
sequin hat,
restored
though.
it, but he sold it to help pay for my surgery. I didn't want to upset him. I just felt like it was such a waste, and I felt really bad.
Aw, her dad loved her. He sold his boat to help pay for her titties. That's a nice dad. Aw.
Lindsay's my sister-in-law. We're close. She's getting married, and I'm going to be one of her bridesmaids. I'm really nervous because we need to talk about the bridesmaids' dresses.
So I want to know how you feel about wearing strapless dresses.
Is that what you're thinking, the style?
Yeah, I am.
I don't want her to pick a strapless because my boobs are an issue, but I'm not going to tell her what to pick because it's her day.
Yeah.
Thicker strap over the shoulder works better for me.
Sports bra underneath it might not look too cute.
Yeah.
You can't wear a big old grandma-looking dress when there's 10 bridesmaids.
So if it's to the point where you can only wear sports bras,
Yeah.
then, I mean,
I will go with whatever dress Lindsay picks because I would not say no to her.
Right.
I really want to get them fixed, my boobs fixed before the wedding.
oh my gosh.
You think you can do that before?
I don't know.
The thing is, though, there's a solution for this. So I know they're going to try, and because they're building up a storyline, right? Like, I want to get this fixed before the wedding, and then in the reveal, she's probably going to be in her strapless bridesmaid's dress with her amazing fixed titties and all of this. But, you know, the formula of reality TV falls before your eyes. There would be ways if she was not able to have a surgery, or for any of you, if you have a botched boob job and you have an event coming up like a wedding and someone has requested something strapless that you can't wear your normal supportive sports bras and like her 4 sports bras in a row, and or whatever bra with straps is actually helping support you. Because for us big titty girls, we can't do strapless bras, right? That does not give you the support you need. You need the straps in addition to the band that is tight enough to, and the straps that are tight enough to give you the support both around your waist and on top of your shoulders to help keep the giant boulders we have on our chest up, right? But for a special event like this, what she could do is she could get a really strong supportive bra, but have the straps be a matte, clear strap. So she could still go strapless. She could still have the cleavage, the strapless, whatever, and it would just be a transparent strap. It could be a thick strap too, because if her boobs are really big and low, then the thicker the strap, the more support you're going to have versus very thin ones. You could still get a wide, thick, clear, transparent, matte strap, I mean, and wear the wear the shoulderless dress, right? So there are ways to go about it and do that if you are in that kind of situation or something like that comes up and you obviously don't have the money or are not in the position to get the surgery you want to correct your botched boob job before something like that comes up. There's ways around it to make it work, right? I'm just pointing that out for it. But obviously, the ideal thing is you just want your boobs to look right. You want them to look the way that you want them to. So I get that. Ooh, woman walking on the go.
Charlotte Olhausen, who
Charlotte
had
Olhausen.
breast augmentation about 12 years ago with saline on top of the muscle.
Oh.
And as a solution
Saline,
to the
too.
rippling
That
she had
sucks.
from the saline, you can
Yep,
see the
I was like,
bag
a
of
saline
the
always gives you
The
ripples. That's why it's an
doctor put
antiquated
a pair of
breast
silicones
implant
in
technology we
twice
don't
the
use
size.
anymore,
What
really.
was that doctor thinking?
Never go
He
saline.
wasn't thinking that he was gonna
Always
stretch the
silicone.
skin out and actually cause the problem to be twice as bad. The fact that it's cosmetic surgery and it's done to improve your looks doesn't make it different from any other type of surgery. Cardiac surgery,
Yeah, no,
brain
that's
tumor
terrible.
surgery, and like any
And
other
it's all like
surgery, it
rippled
can
weird.
and
Either
does
those
go
are like
bad.
really big veins she has that's creating those shapes, or
Can I see the
the
doctors?
the
Okay, great. If you want to sign
breast is like
I'm feeling
misshapen.
nervous and excited, and I'm just overflowing with like different emotions, hoping that they can fix me.
Yeah, I hope.
So,
I'm
yes,
assuming
you hate
she's
them.
probably
I hate
feeling a
them.
lot of right now.
Okay, and you hate them.
I don't.
You don't hate
Aw.
them.
Yeah, it's,
He doesn't get to.
I
He
don't-
doesn't see them.
The smaller we go, the more difficult it is to get things scooped up and lifted up because we have to cut out more and more skin,
Right.
which means to remove more and more of the blood supply. And the
Mm-hmm.
more of the blood supply we remove, the greater the chance that we could
Kill the areola,
basically kill the nipple.
or
Yes,
yeah,
I've
and
heard
the
that.
nipple.
You know about this.
Yeah, where it turns black and falls off.
Right?
Yep,
So
necrosis of the nipple. You can lose your areola and nipple.
Right?
You don't have good blood supply
What
vascularly
are
after
the odds
surgery.
of that happening?
It's on the list.
Okay. The chance.
It's a
that I
possibility,
lose
but
the
it's not
nipple
high if you have a good
freaks me out.
surgeon.
That is like the worst case scenario ever.
What if I told you to do this, we were going to have to put scars around your areola,
Well, yeah, that's
up
normal.
and down the center of your
Lollipop
breast,
scar.
and all the way from
Anchor
the
scar.
inside of your breast to your armpit.
If it fixes what's going on now,
So you're not running out of the room.
Well, I
baby.
wouldn't go all the way up to
That's
your
good.
armpit.
That's
He's being,
good.
again,
Okay.
dramatic for
To
TV.
determine exactly what the best plan of action would be, we need to examine you. Skull.
Yeah, and so they need to examine her. But for those of you who may not know, so if you have a surgery around just the areola, that is what a lot of people prefer. If you're getting very tiny implants put in, or you have a doctor that kind of specializes in that, then you can keep it just kind of around the areola, and the doctor can try and work in just the small area that is your areola to put implants and move things in and out, right? But most of the time, that's not realistic for the larger size of implants most people want in for a more dramatic look. If you're gonna go through all the time, money, effort, and energy of having plastic surgery, you want bada boom results, whether they're bigger or smaller, right? You want it to look like what you're going for. So then you would still do the incision around the areola, and then you, depending on the size of the implant, can do one straight down your breast. So you can have one that goes from the areola right down, and that's called a lollipop scar. And usually they can then lift up the flaps of skin that are now free from going and cutting down from the areola to your inframammary crease up, and they can go from inside the opening that they did by picking up your areola and do whatever they need to do for implants there, right? If you are having a very intensive breast surgery, reconstructive, really big implants, whatever, there's lots of different things that this can happen, and it's all still very common, then you get what's called an anchor scar because it looks like an anchor. Again, areola down, but now you also have a scar underneath your inframammary crease, and it will not go all the way up to your armpit. Like I said, he just said that because he's being dramatic to be like, how strong is your resolve for the surgery? You usually have one that goes from like probably about here, maybe like to here, so it would be a good probably 2/3 of your inframammary crease are going to be cut so that they can get under the muscle, especially, instead of having to go through all the breast tissue if you're going to get things that are going under the muscle for your breast implant. I mean, because it's right in your inframammary crease, nobody ever sees that. To me, isn't that big of a deal if you have to have an anchor scar. Like, I have anchor scars on both my breasts. But I know for some people, if they're very vehemently opposed to scars, then it's something to consider, to ask like, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for. How realistic is it to have as small a scar as possible, or as a non-invasive of a scar as possible? Can I get away with an areola scar? Can I get away with a lollipop scar? Or do I have to go with an anchor scar? Those are all very good questions to ask your surgeon if that's something they care about.
Scars are worth it if the advantages greatly outweigh the disadvantages.
Agreed.
What? Okay. Let's just open this up. Now, do me a favor, raise your arms up.
Yeah, you can see the implants like
oh yeah, look.
drooping down below her areola
I
too.
think this implant's upside down.
Oh, upside down implant, that's fun.
Can it do that in my body?
Apparently so, unless it was put in upside down.
It could have been put in upside down wrong to begin
Possible
with.
that with time and activity, the implant can flip over, but it's very rare. Listen,
Yeah, it was
you went in for
most
your
likely
last
put
surgery
in wrong in the
saying you
first
didn't want to be
place.
that much bigger, and he made you twice the size.
Right.
Yeah,
More
the
than
surgeon
nothing.
doesn't know what the
We're
fuck
going
to
to
do.
give you
That
your goal, which
gave
is to
her
make you a
all
lot
this.
smaller.
I'm excited to have this behind me and be fixed, but I'm still nervous with some of the risks I'm taking.
You need something done. Your implant's
There's
upside
always
down,
risk with
damaging the
surgery.
skin. You're not in a good way. You have a good feeling about this?
Yeah. And guess what also? Today, you saw her breasts.
True, he did. He did. Ooh, more poppers! Massive music. Oh, this is the German Belieber guy. Toby! Toby, the true believer.
Good. Good to see you. Hey, nice to see you too. Welcome back. I was in the music business before Justin was 4 or 5 years old.
Oh, where are you now?
Intros are usually like 7, 8 seconds long, not too long. Okay. And then it just starts up right away.
But what
I do
kind of
write and
music?
record my own music. The gift of writing music, I think it's not something you can learn. You have to have that inner creativity. You have to have something to say. You have to
Okay,
be
so he's a
lyrically gifted. You
lyricist.
have to know what's catchy. It's just something I've come to master.
Written all the lyrics to my own music that I've had commissioned.
Ah, I missed it. What brought me to Bieber was like the whole package. The full cheeks, the full temples, the bright open eyes, the full luscious lips, and his facial framing, his bangs, and his full head of hair. You don't see any forehead, you know, they're like swept over to the side, and just extraordinarily beautiful.
Right, so he's... Oh, God.
I haven't felt this good in years. Chained to a heart that's made of steel. I couldn't see through eyes full of tears. You told me you were the one who would keep me from harm. Told me your love was strong, you'd always keep my heart warm. But you wouldn't know love if she called out your name. Now everything's changed, I'm in charge of my fate. I want to look.
I hope he has a day job. I really hope he has a day job. Oh my god, that was actually terrible. I'm gonna hope to God that they use a ton of auto-tune, because he could be a great lyricist. He could be a great songwriter, composer, etc. Singing is not his forte. Singing is also not my forte. I don't think I'm this bad, but I don't have a voice like Lady Gaga or Beyonce, right? But like for all of my music that I've written before, for my metalcore music that I produce with Lecka, by the way, you can listen to it on Spotify or Apple Music if you guys are ever interested. Look it up. I'll have a link for it in the description of this video. All copyright free, so you can listen to it on your streams if you're a gamer. If you're a game dev, you can put it in your video games and feel free to use it however you want. But if you want to be in the music industry and you know you suck at singing, just go with where your talents are. If you are good at writing lyrics and being a lyricist, then don't try and move into that. Like, I can't play a fucking guitar. Look at these nails. These nails are not made to play guitar or piano. Like, literally ever. Also, they are Darkrai nails. Pokemon, like, because I love Pokemon. Get Pokemon nails. Anyway, stay in what you know you're good at in the industry that you're passionate about, and then commission people who have the talent and what you want, like a voice that you just simply don't have, to do and bring your vision of what you've written to life, because you can't always be a one-man show. You want to hire people who have better talents at you with the things you want, so you can have the best quality produced music that you're going for. It doesn't make sense to me when people are like, oh, I need to do all of it so that I'm the star of everything. It's like, well, if you want it to be truly as good as it can possibly be, then pick the best people for it, and you're not going to be the best at everything.
Like Justin Bieber used to look when he was like really young, and I just always bring the picture from him.
He
like, 2
literally
years ago to
nothing
this
like
is what I
Justin
wanna
Bieber.
model myself after.
You know,
I won't give you the right to make me cry for you at night.
God.
Got all the strength it takes to survive. Yes, I'm still alive. I would love to do a duet with Justin.
that would never happen, my guy.
Dream. Damn.
Sounded good, man.
So you think, yeah?
It sounds good, man. Well, that's how you know they're fucking lying to you, and they only want you for your money for paying them to fucking be there. Sounds good, my guy. Oh, that was great. Oh, yeah, you totally nailed that. If you're getting plastic surgery to look specifically like someone else, it's never going to work out. You are never going to look like the person you're trying to emulate, and it's never going to look good. You're going to look like a fucking mess. Reason being, it's like what I talked about in, I think it was episode 2 of Botched already. There was a girl on there named Cheryl, and she was Chinese, and she wanted to look more European, and was getting westernization of her eyes to get rid of the fat deposits that normal Asian hooded eyes have on the tops and bottoms, to be more flat and just have that one crease, and then the separation of the crease to the eyebrow, right? And it looked really good. It was a very good surgery. It was well done. And wanted to go back to having her hooded eyes again, but they already removed the fat and they couldn't put it back in. She could get fillers, but she couldn't surgically put in fat to recreate the hooded eyes she had already taken out. And that's the thing. It's like if you're trying to look like a completely different race, like she's trying to go from Chinese, Cheryl was trying to go from Chinese to European. That's not going to work. You're trying to go from whatever your natural anatomy is. He said he was very tall. He usually has a bigger forehead. He has a more rounded jaw rather than a open staple, sharper jaw like Justin has. Things like that. You're going against the natural anatomy, and if you're trying to enhance what you have already, take note, look at your face in the mirror and figure out naturally what do you have as a foundation that you can then enhance to make look better. Yes, you can get jaw implants, you could get jaw shaving, you could get tracheal shaving, especially if you're doing like gender affirming surgeries for being transgender, things like that. You can do those things, but you're still enhancing the anatomical foundation of what you already were born with for a basis of surgery, right? You can't go into surgery and wake up looking like a completely different race and or person that already exists on this planet, because they were born anatomically completely different from you. And that's just the way it is. Plastic surgery is not a magic bullet that can make you look like literally anybody else, copy paste. It is an enhancement to look more like the vision that you want to present and put out into the world, right? And that's obviously something that Toby here has no idea about and has wasted $100,000, which blows my mind, and he looks nothing like what he's trying to look like, and he's already wasted $100,000.
Wonderful.
The morning.
Oh, we get the
after
booby
shopping,
girly.
I
Grandma
was
boobies.
Really stressed.
Charlotte?
My stomach was in knots. I couldn't really think straight. I didn't even want to go.
What do you think
Oh,
about this one?
I need more, it's a lot of support.
We can add something thicker onto it, though. Oh,
Like really thick.
like sports bra thick?
Yeah, like that.
We looked at a lot of dresses. We pulled.
At least
our
your friend that's getting
dresses,
married has like a
but
good
I'm really not excited to try on any of them.
She's gonna have trouble getting something.
one around her.
Hold her up. She needs.
Charlotte's
We're
mother-in-law.
gonna have to put like 3 strapless bras on her because I like strapless. Sorry, no sports bras, honey.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, Charlotte.
That looks so ugly. I just don't like bridesmaid, like traditional bridesmaid dresses anyway. I think they're very plain and ugly. Like if I was gonna have bridesmaids at my wedding, I've never had bridesmaids at, I mean, I've been married twice now, and I've never had bridesmaids, but I would not have them be in a plain, basic dress. They would be fucking colorful and patterned and look super pretty and amazing.
And you don't have a
Because
strapless bra on. You don't have.
they should feel good about their stuff too, instead of being like, I am a plain colored side piece.
I would never do it to somebody else.
Aww. Charlotte.
I love
But
that dress.
Charlotte has to understand this isn't about her.
I love
This
the
is about
color.
Donna and her day and her wedding. And she needs to make it work.
The dress.
Oh, that's really
She could just get, again,
The
thick,
bridesmaid dress
clear
is
straps for a
I'm
strapless
hoping
bra
to
and keep it
get my
up.
boob done before this wedding, so I could feel comfortable in it.
You like it?
We can
But
make
being
it.
that
We'll
insecure
make it
about your
Make it
breasts
happen. Yeah.
Okay. I like
must
how
be really
positive
hard on
thought.
Charlotte too. So I see it
I
from
like
both
how positive thought.
perspectives. Charlotte has to know the world doesn't revolve around her. She's got to figure it
I
out.
got a tummy tuck 13 years ago, and now my coochie is on my stomach.
Oh my god, that looks horrible. Poor Desiree.
Before I had children.
Boom! Sexy build, I want that.
My mom told me that two of her friends had this great, wonderful doctor in Tijuana.
Ooh, I like her
And was
sequin
well, how
jumpsuit
much
she's
is
got
it? She
going
was
on.
like, it's $2,500. An American doctor. wanted
$2,500, that's it.
I was like, okay, I'm saving a lot of money. The day of the
Yeah. But remember, good work isn't cheap, and cheap work is never good. As Desiree obviously very clearly found out with her fucked up tummy tuck.
surgery. My mom could not go with me. I kind of felt alone. Both nurses came in with like a sheet of ice. One lays one right here, the other girl lays one right here. The
They
doctor
numbed her
left.
with
I was like,
ice
when is
at
the
her surgery
anesthesiologist
instead of
gonna get
actual.
here? And then he's like, well, Desiree.
Numbing
you know,
medications.
There's no anesthesiologist. That's why we got the ice. Belieber, you're not going to feel anything. And I'm just thinking, yeah, but I'm going to be freaking awake.
Yes!
I didn't have any place to go. I wanted to. I was just like, this is
I-
crazy.
you-
And
she
he's
should
like,
have
let me know
left.
if you're okay. Let me know if you feel anything. And then when I felt something, oh my God, I just screamed. I mean, my God, it was like a horrific scream. It just felt like I was being butchered.
Do you need help finding anything?
Something cute.
That
He did
sounds
it. He kind of like made
horrible.
like the vagina part of my skin come up further.
Yeah, her
in
pubic
order to
area.
Sew it together. I'm
Yep.
sure that's not
Yeah, that looks
correct.
awful.
I'm from like the Midwest, and I've just always envisioned going to the beach in California in the sun.
Oh, the bikini's super
But
cute
when I
though,
hit my
but
stomach, I don't see a normal
it goes
stomach.
up.
I see deformity.
She
and I
needs,
just prefer to hide.
higher
Well, to
waisted
get my stomach
bottoms,
completely
right?
fixed
Her
right
boobs are
now,
fine. It's
I really
the
a different Desiree.
tummy tuck she has to cover. I mean, she doesn't have to cover it, but she wants to cover it as well, I think, right? Well, fancy sports cars must be LA.
White went to Mexico for a tummy tuck.
Like Mexico, or...
And there are good
Tijuana
surgeons
type
in
or-
Mexico,
I
except
don't know
that
about that. We'll have to ask her about that.
I guarantee
The wound
you-
fell apart, got infected, opened up, drained, and a lot of the skin died.
Gross.
Because the skin died,
I guarantee
it
you
moved the
Desiree did not
scar
do any
and
research
the
and was
tissue
just like,
below
yeah,
it, the
$2,500
vaginal
surgeon?
area,
Okay, let's
all
do it.
the way up to her belly
A
button.
real
Wait,
surgeon,
her
even in
vagina
Mexico,
is
would
near
have
the
an
belly
actual
button?
anesthesiologist and an
No,
actual
that can't be
practice.
true.
She lost the skin.
Do
between
your
her
research.
belly
If
and
you're
her
going to go out of the
vagina, and when
country,
it was
you don't
healing,
have to
they
get
pulled her
your
vagina up.
surgeries done in
I've been
America.
doing plastic
It's
surgery
easier
for
to
over
research surgeries in
23
America.
years. I've
Do your
reconstructed
research,
every
even
major
if you're going out of the
problem that
country.
you can see and do. I've never seen this before.
I mean, I don't know what to say on this
Yeah,
one.
we need to look at her.
Let's get her in.
All right.
Hello, Dr. Nassif and Dr Dubrow. This is Desiree.
Ah, I love the medical
There's
assistant's
extreme
accent.
amount of fear for me to go into the surgery again. But my dream is for my stomach to look flat and my vagina to be put back to its place.
But they would have to have
Okay,
skin
so you
that's
went
able
down
to
to
be
Mexico
stretched
for
down to
surgery.
put her pubic area back to where it normally would
I
be.
went to
That's the
TJ,
problem.
Well, you did go to TJ.
I did go to TJ.
What actually happened?
The day of the surgery, one of the nurses came in, and then another nurse came behind her, and I'm not joking about this. They both came in with like a really big block of ice. One of the nurses came and she put it on this side right here, and then the other girl put the other one here.
Kidding me.
I'm not kidding.
Imagine using ice to fucking numb yourself for being cut into for surgery. Nah, fam, absolutely
The day of
fucking
the
not
surgery,
knock
and
my
I'm
ass
not
out.
joking about this. They both came in with like a really big block of ice. I was there probably an hour lying there with the ice.
That's an automatic burn after 15 minutes.
Dr. Ice was your anesthesiologist.
Dr. Ice was my
kidding me.
anesthesiologist. I'm not kidding.
The problem with using ice as an anesthetic agent is that it kills the tissue before you operate
Ah.
on it. So he essentially was operating through dead skin, which
And
wouldn't heal properly.
it can give
know,
you
have
frostbite
a
if you leave it
really
on for too long
significant
because it's literally
problem.
frozen
I don't mean
against
just
your skin.
cosmetically, I mean just physiologically
Yeah.
in the tissues. So we really need to have a very close look at your stomach and see if there's enough loose skin to do the job we need to do. So
Yeah.
let's go take a look.
Okay,
All right. As far as things that can go wrong with a tummy tuck, Desiree had every one of those things occur. There are things I need to know. You can see that your pubic area has been pulled way up in your pubic
Yup.
skin with the hair-bearing component is very
And you guys
high.
can see too that it kind of goes up to like a triangular
does have
point,
some
and then
laxity,
from
so that's good.
underneath
You are a
that
little more
kind of
lax,
curved
but the
triangle,
skin is
it
very,
falls
very
like a circus
damaged.
tent, and everything from
What
the
we
bottom of
theoretically
the
can
circus
do
tent is her
is
pubic area.
Make an incision here and lift everything up and lift the pubic skin up as well and bring it down and stitch it down here to put everything back where nature wants it. I
Ah,
think it
because she does
could be
have a lot of
improved, but
extra skin on the
it's-
side that
what I'm
he's pinching,
concerned
so
about
that he
is
could
the
pull that
notion
part
it's
down.
irreversibly damage the tissue so that it may render it potentially unfixable. And the question is, are you willing to take on that risk?
That's going to be an
Yes, I am.
intensive surgery for
Yeah,
her
I
for
wanna be-
recovery.
yeah,
Right.
definitely. I just kind of have that feeling there'll be a brilliant outcome, but I'm ready to take the risk.
And fingers crossed that this heals beautifully, okay?
So I
Fingers
need
crossed.
From the back, right?
Oh, yeah.
I like her purple lipstick too. It's very pretty.
Hey,
Hey, how you
are
doing?
you? How's it
Okay, Scarlet.
I don't
It is.
want to tell my dad what happened.
Oh, that's her dad, the one that sold the boat for her
Obviously,
titties.
Find out. You know how I talked to you about my second surgery?
Yeah.
It didn't go good.
Which is why there's a cameraman in my kitchen
Haven't told
filming you
anything
at this moment in
because I
time.
felt really bad. Because you helping me pay for it. I feel bad that my dad had to sell his boat. And that it didn't turn out like it was going to, and I just feel bad about the whole thing.
It's not her fault though. She wasn't the one who botched up her own surgery.
So I got
So-
botched that bad?
You can't. I understand she feels guilt for it, but it's out of her
I mean,
control.
anything,
She's
like
not the
last
one who
time, you
did
know, just
surgery
call her up.
herself.
It surprised me.
You know?
The operation did go bad.
It was the doctor that fucked
I
up.
kind of wish I would have known a little bit earlier what was going on, so she didn't have to worry so much.
The good thing is-
Before he got on a TV show and was put on the spot about it.
Don't cry.
Yeah, I just felt bad that you went through that.
Aw,
You know?
a really nice
I'm
dad.
not worried about the
Cares
money.
about her.
I just want you to be okay.
Yeah. Telling him is a huge relief, but I still feel bad. I think I'll be able to let go of it once everything's fixed. Love you.
Love you too.
She obviously has a lot of like insecurity and pain and guilt around the surgery, so I think just emotionally for her too, this will be a very big boost for her and for her quality of life.
Welcome.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
See you.
Are you excited about this?
I am, I'm so excited.
I would be
I'm
super
hoping
excited
that
if I was her.
everything goes well with this surgery. I have kind of a deadline to meet with this dress for Lindsay's wedding.
Okay, so let's go in and make this work, make this beautiful. Let's fix the problem, okay?
Good for her.
Let's do it.
Okay. The plan for Charlotte.
Why does she
is
have
to
makeup
move
on?
her
Hold on,
away
did she have makeup on for surgery? Again? Again? Or were those just her eyelash extensions?
Okay, so let's
I can't tell. Zoom in, enhance, zoom in again, enhance again. I think her brows might just be microbladed. I don't see eyeliner. I think that is, in fact, just eyelash extensions. Okay, all right, she gets a pass. I am also a microbladed eyelash extension bitch, so she gets a pass.
go in and make this work, make this beautiful. Let's fix the problem, okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. The plan for Charlotte today is to remove her old implant and put in a much smaller implant that's more appropriate for her body.
Yep,
We'll tighten
they're
up her
still
breast
really
pocket
flat and
fit
droopy,
the
though.
smaller implant and then perform a lift so her breast will be properly positioned.
There you go. Give her a little lift. So she's still wanting natural, although it didn't look like they were going to do a
Bit of
crazy
mystery right now
lift.
as to exactly what I'm going to find inside.
They were just
First thing we're going to do
pushing
is go
her
inside the
all
pocket,
over
pull
with the
implant
iodine
out,
sponge.
and see what position the implant is in and how big it
Damn,
is.
her areolas are tiny. She has tiny little baby areolas. They're so cute.
So here's the implant.
Okay, so
Charlotte's
they're
implants
pulling
were
out
very
her
large. They were
implant through
600
her
cc
areola.
implants, which is extremely
Whoa,
large
she has
for a
like no
small
breast
person
tissue at
like
all.
Charlotte.
Her entire boob was the
See,
implant.
Upside down. This is the bottom.
She has naturally like
Bridge
no breast
here.
tissue. And it was put in
Goes
upside down
down.
on her other
And
boob.
when she
Jesus
bends over, you can
Christ.
see all that rippling in it.
Ugh.
It's a very small muscle. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah, she has
So I don't know how much
no breast
coverage I'm
tissue.
gonna get with that.
Just
Unclear
skin.
whether her muscles are actually big enough to cover a lot of the implant. And if they're not, you're not really going to get rid of all of the rippling that you need to get rid of.
Right, so you have to put in a
Now we
bigger
made the pocket
implant
smaller,
because
we're
if you
gonna lift
don't
up the
have
implant,
natural
but
breast
also major
tissue to
muscle.
make up for it, that's just what has to happen. But if they put in
So it's a
silicone
little breast
instead of
tissue,
saline,
but
it should
the
be
implant
okay.
will actually be the final size of the
Like that.
breast. So we went from a 600 to a 375, which I think is an appropriate size for her.
600 to
So I had a
375.
critical
Decent.
decision to make.
225
I had the implants
decrease in
downside,
CC.
placed under the muscle, and the pockets tightened. And so I sat her up. I realized that her result was actually acceptable at that point. In other words, no lift, no scars. But then I had to figure out whether that was an acceptable result for Charlotte.
Right, because right now, you can see her breast. You can see that there's a lot of still sagging skin, and this is before the lift. Now, I would be extremely unhappy with this result, personally. Some people would be fine because this is, again, a much more natural one. Instead of being flat, she's projected out a little more because they tightened up the breast pocket. So when they put the implant inside through her areola scars, she doesn't have an anchor scar. You can see that under her breast, they haven't made an incision here. So they definitely haven't made an incision over her inframammary crease either. They've managed to keep the scars localized just to the areolas. But her skin is so stretched out from being stretched out over time, from weighing down so heavy with her drooping implants that gave her the grandma boobs that she's talking about, that this skin isn't going to tighten up. It's going to stay and look this way. And it's looking better than it will be after recovery right now because this is directly in with the surgery. So I really hope they don't keep her this way because I think she's still going to be super unhappy with her boobs because these look like very aged breasts with how droopy the skin is, with how pulled and stretched the skin is. She, for that more youthful, perky, smooth, tight skin appearance needs the lift. And so this entire breast needs to go up higher towards her armpit. Same with this one, needs to go up higher towards her armpits. Doesn't have to go all the way up to her armpit, like to this part of the body, like I want mine for my like fake bimbo look. But she could still have it in a higher, closer to her armpit position than where it is right now. And it would look far better. I hope he does the lift, even though it will give her scars, because the scars would be worth what she would get out of it.
This is her without a lift.
No, she needs the lift. She needs the lift. Team lift. Also, if you're not team lift, let me know in the comments down below. And why? What your opinion so far on it?
Will actually be the final size of the breast. I realized that her result was actually acceptable at that point. But then I had to figure out whether that was an acceptable result for Charlotte.
Probably not. Please give her the lift. She's not going to be happy with it.
We still need to do the lift.
Yep,
After
okay,
talking to
thank
Charlotte
God.
in great detail preoperatively, I thought that in her case, a fully lifted implant was worth the extra scars.
Yes, absolutely. And they are doing an anchor scar. You can't see it. He was literally cutting into her breast under her inframammary crease with a scalpel. Can't show that on YouTube. But she was having the anchor scar. And like I said, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it to look as good as it does.
Loose, lax skin. I took enough skin out of her to line a small football, like a Pop Warner size football.
Wow.
Because
she had a lot of extra skin that you guys saw. A lot of extra skin. That looks so much better, so much perky, so much more lifted. That she's gonna be very happy with that. Oh, Desiree's top is sassy. I love all the colors. I would totally wear that too.
And I'm here to see Dr. Dubrow.
Come in here.
Oh, that's Carolyn. I thought that was Desiree. They absolutely are related. They look exactly the same.
Involved in her surgery.
Like the mama's style.
Desiree, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you.
How you doing? I'm Desiree's mother, Carolyn. She went through operation once before, and it was so horrible. The worst part is I gave Desiree the name of the doctor in Mexico. I feel bad about that, and I have for years. I have some questions, doctor.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this kind of surgery, and what school did you go to? How long is she going to be out? How long would it take her to get back to normal? How many of this have you done?
So Desiree's mom was giving me the third degree. She's scared.
Yep.
Maybe she should ask the surgeon in Mexico those questions too.
Yeah, fucking that's the tea.
I specialize in redoing problem plastic surgery. I've been doing this for about 24 years. I like doing this. I think I do this pretty well.
I'm gonna trust you, doctor, because my daughter trusts you. I will wait here all day until I see the results for myself, that she's in good hands and that she's feeling good.
All right, good, Mama. We love to see it.
I'll be the anesthesiologist with you. Nice to meet you. We're gonna do real surgery here. Is that okay with you?
With a real anesthesia, no ice. Hey! Woo!
Thank God I didn't see any ice blocks anywhere.
4 big deep breaths. Deep as you can in.
It's almost like it's a real plastic surgery. Ah! Just accidentally whacked my foot on my basket underneath my desk. Beat my foot.
Nurse, my cape.
My cape.
Tummy tuck, I'll first
Dude,
make
her
a
tummy
horizontal
tuck is
incision
gonna
across her stomach.
difficult with all the scar tissue.
And flatten her stomach. Then I'll pull all the skin down and put her scar below her bikini line and get her vagina back in its natural place.
That'd be great, because it did pull up. It sounds like it not only did the pubic area, but it actually did pull up her vagina too, higher than it should be.
She doesn't have big, what we call dog ears or bells on the side.
Liposuction is so fucking aggressive. Which I can't show you this because it's body fluid, again, from YouTube's stuff. But it's just pussy, or I guess not pussy, but it's grapefruit milkshake. But instead of it being, you know, a grapefruit milkshake, it's fat and blood that they've sucked out of your body from liposuction. But that's what it looks like. And they just go in with it's called a cannula. It's a really long silver hollow tube, essentially, that has a handle that the doctor holds. And the hollow tube essentially goes into an incision that was made with a scalpel to scoop up the entire thing with fat that they're taking out from the area that they want to remove fat from. And then on the handle, at the end of the handle, there is a tube. And it goes into a machine that then fills up and shows you how many ounces or milliliters, like this one is milliliters, of fat and blood you have sucked out of that area.
Now we're going to make the incision and start elevating up the skin. And we'll know a lot more about how much scar tissue is inside and how damaged the skin is once we do that.
Yeah, he's got to cut her open first, and then you can find out how bad the scar tissue
here. And the problem is, if you just cut out this tissue, you will kill the skin. This pubic area has been pulled up and held into place by all this scar tissue. So you've got to release it all the way down to her groin to allow it to hopefully fall back down.
Yeah, I hope it does fall back down.
I haven't cut out any tissue at all. This is how much skin she's lost.
Wow.
That hole was
That
the
is a
size of a football. I could stick
huge
Dr. Nassif's
hole.
head in there.
Hello, my friend.
Oh, why is Dr. Nassif coming in to help with the tummy tuck?
But it's quite difficult, as you can imagine.
In order to
What
lower
would
the
he
scar
be
below
helpful
the
for when
bikini
he's a
line,
facial
I
surgeon?
need to tighten the abdominal wall muscles, which will flatten the abdominal wall and allow the skin to be pulled down under less tension. With a reconstructive tummy tuck, the main challenge you face is preserving the blood supply, because you're essentially lifting up the entire abdominal wall skin.
God, that's a huge
cutting
fucking
all
hole.
of the blood vessels. And if there's not enough blood supply, the entire abdominal wall skin can die.
Yeah,
So
you don't
I'm
want that.
tightening the abdominal wall all the way up to the breastbone, which will allow us to pull the skin down over a flat surface. It
Okay.
also allows us to get the scar as low as possible. Look at that.
Yeah?
That's coming down.
So now I can cut the skin down here and even make it lower than it would have been had it been done properly.
Oh.
That's beautiful. She'll be able to wear a bikini and hide her scar.
Yeah.
Deal. She looks fantastic.
But then-
You did an amazing job.
Yeah, that is really good. But yeah, it's gonna do its dun 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 transition. But like, my question was never answered. Why was Dr. Nassif brought into the surgery? What did he do? Why was he there? It's just like, oh look, it's Dr. Nassif. He's all here and ready for surgery. And he just went on to the other side of the table. And then Dr. Dubrow just was like, oh, I actually was able to make this crazy surgery happen because I'm a plastic surgery wizard. He is actually a really good surgeon. Well, they didn't explain why Dr. Nassif was brought in the first place. He does fucking nose jobs and facelifts, and he's a facial construction surgeon. Why was he there for a tummy tuck? I have so many questions.
We're gonna do something very unusual, very different here, okay? We're gonna see a guy who's in his 30s, who's had...
Oh, so he is in his
to try to
30s,
look
and this was
like
10 years ago, so he's in his
I wanna
40s
show you
now.
some pictures of him, okay? And I want to see
I wonder
if you
what
can
all
tell
these
me who
people
you
look
think
like
he's
now.
trying to look like. Here he is.
Oh, Justin Bieber.
Okay, yeah, he guessed it immediately, Justin Bieber, because of the haircut and not the surgery. If you guys wanted, like, a Where Are They Now thing after we get through all the episodes of Season 1 before we start Season 2 and go forward with it, let me know if that's something you would be interested in the comments, please, because I am interested in seeing where these people are, both the people that aren't the extreme crazy people, in addition to the more, like, regular people that had straight-up botched surgeries and actually needed reconstruction help, to see how their surgeries have healed over time, if they're still happy with it, if they had more, for the crazy people, for the extreme people, they're even more extreme now, if they went back, if they've extremified themselves even more, like, I'm curious to see what that happens. So if you guys want to go down that rabbit hole with me and I do all the research for you and just sit back, chill, and watch me, I can make that happen.
Very good. Wow, that didn't take very long.
Exactly! What I just said! The hair! Not because of the surgery! The fucking haircut is the only reason he looks like Justin Bieber! Bruh! You didn't need $100,000 for a fucking haircut.
Dr. Nassif.
Nice to meet you,
Have a
Doctor.
seat.
Thank you.
So tell us what procedures you did to exactly look like Justin Bieber, a little bit more detail.
Well, first of all, of course, the hair transplants. I had my lips done, my upper lip lifted.
Okay, so he did have a hair
reduce the
transplant,
distance
so it
there
was
between the
fuller
nose and
hair.
upper lip. I had my corneas lifted to have like this kind of permanent smirk like Justin has. I had my lower lip lifted to hide more of the bottom teeth. A chin reduction. Of course, he has a six-pack, so I got some liposuction. Botox to, you know, have his wrinkle-less forehead. I get Juvederm like in the upper and lower eyes. Got some Aquamid in the nose too.
How much have you spent on all this plastic surgery up to date, do you think?
By now, I think it's passed way the 100,000 mark.
Wow.
Wow. And he still looks like that after $100,000 of plastic surgery. He looks nothing like Justin Bieber. Don't get plastic surgery to look like people. It'll never work. Ah. Some people have to learn by failing and spending all their money, I guess.
Yeah,
Do you think that I'll be ready in a month to be able to be at my sister's wedding to wear a strapless dress?
definitely.
Aww, she's gonna have it ready in time.
I
Excellent.
think that was a big stressor for me.
Okay.
Wow, her boobs are so perky and high compared to what she had before. And there's separation of the boob. There's no symastia. There's no bread loafing. She has really, wow, look at that upper fullness and projection.
So far, so good, right?
And no bra. If she had a push-up bra for that too, oh, super, super nice titties.
Before surgery, Charlotte's complaints were that her breasts looked grandma-y with the implant upside down. There were all these ripples. She couldn't wear any clothing that showed the upper part of her breasts or her cleavage. But now, post-operatively, I think that any grandma, no matter what the age, would be happy to have Charlotte's breasts at this point.
Agreed. I want Charlotte's breasts when I'm a grandma. I mean, I'm never gonna have kids, only fur babies, but when I'm the same age.
You're doing really well. So heal, lots of protein, high-protein foods.
And she has drains too.
And just
Don't be like Janice Dickinson and take them out.
and go have a Lindsay Lohan moment.
Brr, 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 brr. Day 7 check-in, so a week after surgery.
Hi. How are you, Desiree?
Good. How are you? Good.
She's like kind of hunched over. I'm sure it's super
Yeah,
painful to
totally
exist
exhausted
and be,
and
yeah.
for the healing process to be complete.
Yeah, after a weekend, you got a long ways to go after an intensive surgery like a tummy tuck.
Look at her.
How are you?
She got a big smile on her face.
I like the smile. Have you gone to the bathroom yet? Constipated, huh? Yeah, those are
Pain
the
pens.
Yeah. If I could
Narcotics
prove
will
I'd be
make
so happy
you
right now,
very
you guys don't
constipated.
know. They'd be like, give me a Christmas present.
What we might do is consider taking one of the drains out, okay?
There you go.
Drains do get infected. That's why the longer you leave them in, the greater the chance of infection. Some people think this is really painful, taking the drains out, because it's long, it goes all the way up, right? So I do this in 2 stages. The first stage is just cutting the stitch, and then I'll pull the drain up. But
Again, we can't show you this, but
if I can do it, okay? So
he's
I'm gonna
being
cut the
very
stitch.
careful
So
with it.
first cut the stitch.
Ooh, yeah, he just pulled that straight out of her side, and she was like, oh!
I can't believe you did that to her.
Look, your
It did look
incision
kind of
way
painful.
below the bikini underwear.
Look at that belly button. Wow. Perfect.
Her belly button looks way better than it did
Look how
before,
long the
though.
incision is. It's gone.
I'm excited to see what the
Yeah, my
post-op,
coochie has returned
healed,
to its rightful-
mostly healed,
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That looks
final
great.
result
I'm telling
is.
you.
I feel so good that I've gotten the surgery now. Today, I'm
Oh, look at her walking down the street
low-ride jeans,
like a baddie.
see crop top, so I can see my mom today, so she can see my final result.
Ooh! And she's able to wear like mid-waist jeans, not even high-waisted jeans, mid-waist.
Anything her neighbor was worth supposed to be.
Oh, that tummy tuck looks good. It's flat. Her belly button looks natural.
To do before,
And she can wear mid-rise jeans, not even have to be really, really high, covering your hips jeans.
Orange, hot, you know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
Swimsuit shopping and wearing the different swimsuits and stuff like that. So that's gonna happen this summer.
She looks hot. She looks really good. Her results are great. I want to see her in a underwear and bra though. There we go.
Totally raised my confidence. As long as you're
Wow. Holy shit. Look at that difference. Like I said, it was like the circus tent, the droopy circus tent before, and everything underneath that droopy circus tent top was her pubic area that was pulled up. So not only was the pubic area pulled up that you can see right here, you can see that she is shaved and it has all the little spots of where her pubic hair would grow, right? But that it also literally has pulled up and is covered by her underwear, of course, but pulled up her vagina as well, like in her clitoris to be higher than it should be. It wasn't between her legs like it was supposed to. It was actually pulled up along with the skin, so it was in a higher, more uncomfortable position. And Dr. Nassif was able on this side to move all of it down, so it's very flat now. She doesn't have any circus tent pooching like what was over here before whatsoever. He actually eliminated a lot of these stretch marks because he just cut the skin completely out of her body. She still has a little bit of the stretch marks that you can see right here, but nothing like what she did before. And you're seeing absolutely no pubic area, because the pubic area is, you can see that the underwear in this after image is higher up on her than before, because obviously they wanted to show the full extent of like how badly high her pubic area was pulled up before. So this underwear is lower. But if this underwear was in the same position as her before picture, you would see where her scar is. But the fact that it's on a natural, normal bikini line where you would wear your underwear anyway and it's hidden under underwear is great, because again, she can wear bikini, she can wear crop tops, and it's not going to show. Really, really nice. And you can tell that this is, for this area right here, a more natural place to have your pubic region. So that is great. Good for her.
I want people to gravitate to me and say, hey, hot mama, you know?
Hey.
Now you can get back there out there and meet some of those fine guys you've been wanting to do.
Ooh, a martini. I don't drink, but I think that's it. Or cosmopolitan, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. It's red and it's probably alcoholic. Looks cute. Oh, we get to see Charlotte for the wedding. I was right. Fucking psychic.
And I'm wearing my strapless dress and I'm feeling amazing.
Suck it in, honey.
And it's still an ugly fucking plain bridesmaid dress, but
On, I had so much stress and anxiety and was.
if she can wear it
riding around
strapless
with a
and
dress
rock
strapless.
it,
I knew the outcome was
there you
gonna
go.
be. Now I feel so comfortable in a strapless. I'm so happy. It's a huge.
That makeup
weight
artist
off
did a
my
really good
chest
job.
to
She
feel
looks
normal.
very,
Ready,
very
Charlotte?
glam, soft glam, neutral tone glam.
I'm not sure.
I want like rainbow
Hey, guys.
face at my wedding. Oh, it looks so pretty. Very natural, nothing crazy, nothing extreme. Very natural, but still perky boobies. Very cute, very cute. And that's exactly what she wanted too, which is the best thing.
Oh, remember the
When
first
she's
time
happy with it, how you know it's a good job.
She hated me.
Yes. Now I can go.
Now you can dance. I already can get loose. Yeah.
My before boobs look like old saggy grandma porn star boobs. Now I feel
Old saggy grandma porn star boobs. That's an image. I mean, you can see here though that like her right breast in particular right here is terrible. You can see that this is kind of where her natural breast was here at the top. Kind of up here, the extra fat deposit by your armpits that AFAB people have because it's extra breast tissue is why you always have. Fun fact, by the way, this like extra arm fat here on your armpit because this is actually breast tissue, which is why if you always wondered why you had a pooch at your armpits, if you're an AFAB person, it's because this is actually breast tissue. But instead of it going into your breast, it's just kind of always on the side. So that's why you have a little arm pooch. But you can see that there from her arm pooch, this is where her natural breast kind of was, and that her implants were so big they dropped down here, and then this one deformed and was just dangling, basically, while this one was still kind of in the same shape as following the natural breast of where her breast tissue, her arm pooch is up here, and still kind of kept its shape a little bit, whereas this one just completely fell apart. And then on this side, in the after, they're much smaller. It fits her frame better for more natural proportions, which is what she wanted, because she's a very small, petite lady. And they're not perfectly symmetric. You can see that this one is a little lower and not as high in its projection as this one, but they're definitely sisters. They're or I wouldn't say sisters. They're definitely cousins. They're related. They're not siblings, but they're still blood related. So we're closer than what we were before. It's still a significant improvement. I would take the after over the before any day of the week if it was me. Plus, a good bra can fix a lot. I am Madonna impersonator. The Madonna. There we go. And that'll be for the next episode. So, there we go. That was episode 4 of season 1 of Botched, Making a Believer. If you guys enjoyed this episode and you made it this far in the video already, please go ahead and lick that like button and subscribe, because not only does it taste delicious, but it helps us here grow on the channel tremendously, especially since we're re-niching this channel from gaming and streaming advice into reaction personality content. It really, really helps YouTube be like, oh, this bitch is doing something different. Let me push her out to people that actually care about what the she's doing now. So, very much appreciated. And if you subscribe, it's completely free here on YouTube. You won't miss out on any of my future uploads, because I do upload twice a week, every Tuesday and Saturday, to this channel. And let me know your guys' thoughts on this video and on this episode that we just went through together. There's a lot that went on in this one, and I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it below. You guys had a really good response to the other episodes that we've done, and I love reading every single one of your comments. I respond to every single one. So feel free to test me and see if I respond to yours too, because I don't. But that's going to be it for this episode for today. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate your faces, but without taking up any more of y'all's time, I will go ahead and let you beautiful people go. Bye, my lovelies.